Hi there folks, my name is Tatiana and you're watching YouTube channel You Can. Today is June 26, 2022 and I'm located in central Pennsylvania, zone 6B. So if you want to have a super fruit in your backyard, black raspberries are one of the best berries and the easiest to grow, and today's video is about how to prune them in this time of the year. You can see how loaded these berry canes are, and in today's video I would like to share with you some easy tips and tricks on how to prune black raspberry canes for great production for next year. So blackberries produce berries on second year canes, which are these right here. All of these light green, they look almost dusty green canes are the ones that will have berries on them next year, like these right here. These were like this last year. So as you can see, this cane is last year's cane. It has a darker purple color and there are many offshoots, these little branches coming off of the main stem that have the fruiting clusters on them. In order to make the cane produce these side shoots, one needs to pinch the top of the first year cane, just like that. All right, so you can see we have a trellis here. Basically, this is a shocking wire. I don't remember what gauge it is, but my husband put in posts on the ends and in the middle and strung up this wire so that we can trellis the raspberries up to it. You don't have to have a trellis for the raspberries, but the downside of not tying them to something is that the canes get really heavy with the fruit and they will fall to the ground, and your fruit will be dirty or it will be hard to find or pick. So we find it a lot more convenient to tie the canes to the trellis wire so that they're easier to pick, they're exposed, they get a lot more sun, and they don't rot on the ground. So the idea right now is to go through and pinch all of these tops. Because my trellis height is about right here, as you can see. This is about the height where I want to pick the top off of this year's canes. That way the branching happens on the sides and it will be at a good height to tie to this trellis. In June, mid-June, early June, mid-June to late June is where you want to go through and pluck off these tops in order to promote the side branching of the cane, which will happen later on this year, like August, September, which will then have fruit on it like these do next year. So gardeners are experimenters in a way, and I have seen a video where a man was leaving the canes grow, and they will grow long, they will grow all the way down to the ground, but he was letting them grow and they branched out and his bushes didn't seem to be as loaded or overloaded. Mine are a little overloaded this year. So we're going to experiment and leave this section unplucked, and we will see firsthand what happens with the canes when they're left unplucked, whether or not they're going to send out the side shoots, and if they do, how much berries are going to be on the canes next year. I can't share that experience with you because I've never done it that way. I'm just sharing with you what I've done every year and what has worked for me. So therefore, today's video, I am showing you how to pluck them. So this little cane hasn't reached the height to be at the trellis level, so I will leave it grow until it's a little bit higher than the trellis, and then I'll come back and I'll pick the top off. And so is this one, just a little shy of being the right height. So this is kind of a multi-step process. So every couple days I'll be coming out here and picking the tips off to make sure that all of my canes are at the right height for the trellis. And as you can see, I'm not tossing these tops. I am going to be stripping the leaves off and putting them in my dehydrator, and we will be making tea out of black raspberry leaves. There's a lot of health benefits to black raspberries, and not only black raspberries, but also black raspberry leaves. And I will try to cover that in another video made specifically about health benefits of black raspberry leaves and black raspberries. All right, so just to recap, these are this year's canes. They're a light green color, and they have the tops that I plucked off, which will stimulate the growth of side branches out the side here. And these side branches will actually grow very long, and most of them will go down and touch the ground, and that's what will create new plants for next year or wherever, if you want to plant more or give away some to your friends. But we're going to be having some black raspberry plants, and we will be selling them. You can click on the link below and see where you can get yourself a couple plants if you like. So this is the harvest. This is actually our first big picking, and we've got quite a bit. I don't know how many quarts, but these are 2 large bowls, and they're almost full with raspberries, and there's a lot more that are still red and unripe on the bushes that will have to be picked in a couple days. Generally, berries get picked every 2 to 3 days depending on the weather. We'll create a separate playlist for black raspberries, and I'll try to cover every season in the playlist to give you guys an idea of how to take care of raspberry canes during each part of the year. All right, so just real quick, I wanted to share how we preserve the black raspberries. So I'm putting them into a black mason jar. When you do pick them out of the bowl, you want to kind of be careful because they are very fragile. All right, so that's full, and I am not like shaking it to tamp down the berries, because what I'm doing next is I am taking my local honey, local raw honey, and I will be pouring it into the jar, just about a 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of honey. And what that does is once you put that in the freezer, the honey actually embeds itself into the berries and doesn't let them freeze solid, helps retain the flavor. And in the winter we like to drink a lot of herbal teas, so we will scoop out about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, depending on who's drinking the tea, into the cup of tea, and the berries taste amazing, almost like fresh, and then you get to sweeten your tea with the honey as well. Alrighty, so I have enough of honey filled in here, and what I'm going to do next is I will cover it with a regular canning lid, and I will flip this upside down, and I'll let it sit upside down for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I will turn it back right side up. Basically, overall, it's going to be sitting on my table for about 1/2 an hour. The raspberries are going to start giving off juice, and then once I have about 1/4 jar of juice mixed with honey, that's when I'm going to set it into the freezer. The reason for the whole flipping upside down and right side up is to get all the berries coated with honey, so that none of them are frozen without being enveloped in the honey and the raspberry juice. Thank you for watching, guys. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.